Hello Capricorn and welcome back to Witchy Tarot. So in today's video we are going to be doing your general reading for the year 2026. Happy New Year guys! Oh my god, I can't believe we're already here. It's December 31st, it's New Year's Eve, and it's literally a new year tomorrow. It's crazy. So yeah, just always, as always, please keep in mind that not all messages may resonate and that this video is for entertainment purposes only. And with that being said, let's get started on your reading. So guys, this time around, I wanted to do things a little bit different. So we're actually going to do a card for each month. So we're going to have 12 cards in total. The first one being for January, our birth month. And then, subsequently the next months after that. And then we're going to end it with 3 oracle cards. So without further ado, like I said, let's get started. For our first card, since I am a fellow Capricorn, we got the Ace of Pumpkins. So as a Capricorn, you'll love to see it because it basically means that something new is coming our way that has to deal with finances. So typically when I see this card, I instantly think job offer. So it could be a job offer in January, which is so funny because I actually do have a job offer in January. How interesting is that? That actually resonates. I do have a job offer in January to work as a ghost tour guide in downtown Manhattan. So that's really up my alley because I love the paranormal. I love anything that has to deal with the paranormal, the supernatural, the occult, anything esoteric. So this job is right up my alley, and I am praying and hoping and rooting for you guys that something similar is going to happen to you as well. If you happen to be unemployed, but now you're looking for a job that's going to be actually fun and, gives you purpose and meaning, I feel like January is going to be looking like a good month for that. That, as you can see, the hands offering the pumpkin, which represents the pentacles from the Rider-Waite-Smith. So it's a new financial opportunity that's headed your way. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a job offer, you know what I mean? It could be other things as well. It could be an investment opportunity. Maybe there's somebody who's going to hit you up and be like, hey, there's something lucrative here. Let's get in on this action. Maybe it's going to be something that, what happened to kind of like what happened with silver this month. If someone hits you up with an investment opportunity that's as if you got into silver before it skyrocketed in December, holy shit, you guys are going to do amazing. So yeah, just keep that in mind for our birth month, that we start the year off with amazing Earth energy, Capricorn energy, our birth month. The year 2026 is starting off super strong for us. So that's awesome to see. Now, the thing for February is that things are going to be a little crazy. They're going to be a little chaotic. I think you know where I'm going with this. But for February, we got the Tower card. So I wouldn't worry too much about this because honestly, yes, the Tower is chaotic. Yes, the Tower is all over the place. However, sometimes it's necessary for these things to happen in order for us to build back better, stronger, more structurally. It's really all about tearing down what doesn't serve us anymore. It just sucks that it has to, go about a chaotic way for that to happen, but sometimes that's really the only way it can happen, is if chaos is involved. So February is looking like a pretty chaotic month. If I were to speculate, listen guys, I'm not psychic, I just read tarot, but if I were to speculate about why February might be crazy, I can't help but feel like it has something to do with Valentine's Day. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just saying, just hear me out. I feel like maybe something's gonna happen on Valentine's Day where it's just gonna be you know what? I'm tired of this shit. You know what I mean? It could be that. Could also be other things too. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be love related. It could be related to like work too. Like, maybe February is going to be the month where you're like, you know what? I've had it with this job. Like, I'm up to here with this job. I'm done. I'm done. And you just leave with a bang, with a flashbang. Could be so many different things that happen in the month of February, but it's really important to take note of this because the Tower is part of the major arcana. So the major arcana deals with like major life events, whereas things like the Ace of Pumpkins, for example, is from the minor arcana. So this is more so like everyday things, but not necessarily major life events like the Tower. But it's okay if this happens because you know what? It means we're going to be building back stronger. So that's, that's fine. Like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with what the Tower card artistically looks like from the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, which is the OG universal tarot deck that most tarot readers like use that system to read from. But it shows an actual tower. This is a haunted house, so it doesn't really show the craziness as much. Like, yeah, you see ghosts like coming out of the chimney and fire and, lightning and rain and stars falling out of the sky and things like that. But I feel like the Rider-Waite-Smith deck does a really good job of showing what it symbolically means, because you see a tower on jagged rocks and people falling out of the tower and lightning striking the tower, and it just shows that, things that were built on not so great foundations need to come crashing down in order for us to build back on a better level playing field. So just keep that in mind for the month of February. I'm not saying clutch your pearls and like go to church and like start praying for a better month. Like, honestly, don't do that. Just let February happen. And if it doesn't transpire, it doesn't transpire. Like I said, not all messages may resonate, but if it does happen, just know it's happening for a reason and that it's for you to build a better foundation. Like, I can't emphasize that enough. So if that's what February looks like, then March is looking pretty fierce. So for March, we got the Knight of Imps. Now, let me tell you about my plans for March, because as soon as I saw this, I was like, yep, that's accurate. So what I have planned for the end of March is I'm doing a trip down south. I live in New York City, guys. I don't know if you're familiar with where I live, but I live in NYC. And I am taking a trip down south to explore the Carolinas. Maybe we'll stop by Savannah, because I love Savannah. I've been there twice, and I love, love, love Savannah. It's so beautiful. The Southern Gothic architecture is just stunning. It's so pretty. And then we're gonna go end up in St. Augustine, Florida. I've never been to St. Augustine, but I hear it has such rich history, especially given that it is the oldest city in America. People don't even know. Like, usually when you think of like the first towns and cities in America, we think of like Plymouth Rock or places in like Massachusetts or Virginia or Maryland, but actually the very first city in the United States is St. Augustine, Florida, and it was founded in 1565. So I'm really excited to be seeing that. And yeah, as soon as I saw this card, I was like, yup, that makes sense, because basically what I'm trying to explain with my travel plans is that a lot of action is going to be happening for us in March. A lot of fast forward moving action, a lot of decisions being made. So I'm hoping that, this inspires you guys. Like, maybe if I'm mentioning travel, you guys might think about doing something for March as well. Like, maybe you want to travel as well and go somewhere and see new places and experience new things. But it doesn't necessarily have to be travel. It could also be other things as well, like people coming forward towards you in a fast-paced manner. Could also be romantic too. Although, to be fair, usually the Knight of Ghosts is that's the penultimate romance card for me from this deck. This could also indicate romance as well. It could indicate like someone who's, honestly, every time I see this card, I think of someone who's very athletic. So maybe you're going to be meeting someone who's very athletic in the month of March if you are single. In particular, I don't know if you guys can see, but this knight has blonde hair and blue eyes. So not to say that you're meeting someone with blonde hair and blue eyes in March, but I'm saying it's a possibility because of the artistic rendition of what the knight looks like in Kipling West's Halloween tarot deck. So either way, something fast is happening in the month of March. It's action, 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 baby. So it's awesome. Really great fire energy in the month of March, which is funny because if you think about it, I'm pretty sure Aries season starts March 21st. So there's that fire energy we're getting from. So maybe something really energetic is going to happen. You know what's so funny, guys? My trip starts March 21st. This reading is just so, for me, it's uncanny. It's uncanny valley for me. So yeah, moving on to Avril in French, like Avril Lavigne. We got the 8 of Ghosts. So don't fret, you know, it looks bad, but it's really not that bad. It's just about walking away from things that no longer serve us. So it's kind of similar to the Tower because something's coming to an end, but I would say the February is more like chaotic, more drama, more clocking at the house. That was a weak snap. Clocking at the house, there we go. Whereas April is kind of like soft. It's more so softly, gently walking away from something with grace. And notice how the pumpkin man who's walking away isn't turning back. They kind of have their head down, walking towards, I don't even know if it's like heading towards here or heading towards somewhere off camera, off the picture, but just heading somewhere else, translocating, leaving something that no longer served them. It's a lot of like water energy here, as you can see depicted by the water here. 8 of Ghosts is 8 of Cups from the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, which is water energy. So that's Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. It's walking away, but it's okay. Whatever is no longer serving you in the month of April, you're walking away from it. And honestly, I say walk away with your head up high. You know, you don't, even though this is how you might feel, which is like your head's down and you're just kind of like grieving what was lost, but knowing you have to walk away, I say do it with your head held high. You don't have to do what is exactly depicted in this card. Like, you could go about it differently. We all have free will, you know? We all have free will. We could do whatever we want in this life. We really can. We think we can't, but we really can. We have all the freedom. Now, what's interesting about this 5th card for May is that this card came out sideways. And I don't know about you guys, but I actually kind of low-key read sideways. I know most people either read upright or reverse, but I do kind of read sideways. I'm going to interpret it in both the upright and the reverse. So in the upright, it means that, you know, someone stable or something stable financially is coming towards us in the month of May. As you can see here with the knight and the trusty steed, just kind of like, it's not like the Knight of Imps, if I can find the Knight of Imps. It's not like the Knight of Imps where the horse is like stampeding ahead, being all Italian stallion, stampeding ahead. More so trotting, maybe, just kind of like stable, reliable, old reliable. So yeah, something good is going to happen to us financially, not only in January with the new opportunities, but also in the month of May with something reliable heading our way. It could be something or somebody. Now, If it means that you're meeting someone, so if March is all about an athletic person who's very energetic and has strong fire energy that you're meeting in their birth month, or it could be, you know, April, but I don't know why I'm leaning towards the end of March. With the Knight of Pumpkins, it could be another person who, unlike the Knight of Imps, is more so slower when it comes to how they approach you, but very, very, very stable energy, very financially well off, and strategic about how they live their lives. So I'm curious to see if you guys, like for my single cappies, if you're going to be meeting various people throughout the year, and if these caricatures do come into play, come to fruition. That would be so interesting. Let me know in the comment section down below. Like, revisit this video later on in the year if you can, and like clue a sister in. Like, I want to know if this actually like comes to pass. I'm so curious. So that's what May is looking like. It could be something or somebody who's very financially stable and reliable, or that is very financially stable and reliable. So, for June, gotta love June, my Geminis, we got the Four of Bats, which is great. Four of Bats, oh, I love seeing the Four of Bats because it means rejuvenation, it means rest, it means taking it easy. So, with the crazy upheaval of February and the walking away in April, comes rest, which is very deserved after everything that happens in the first quarter of the year. First 2 quarters of the year. Yeah. So, ooh. Most people treat vacations like crazily, like, you know, they have a packed itinerary and they're like, we gotta go here, we gotta go there, we gotta go everywhere. But some people actually relax on their vacation and don't really do much. I'm kind of getting that for June for you guys. If you do go on vacation, from what I gather from this card, it's going to be a restful one. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good reset, a good reset button. I was gonna say something else. I guess restart was the word I was thinking of. I'm like, what do you do with a phone when you want to turn it off but let it turn on immediately? Restart. There we go. Good restart button is gonna be hit in the month of June. Now, for the month of July, we got the King of Ghosts, which is awesome because it basically means that we are in charge. We are large and in charge of our emotions. And I feel like a lot of these cards really pertain to me because not only am I going on a trip down south at the end of March, like March 21st, which is literally the beginning of Aries season, but in July, which is like Leo season, I'm also going to be going to the Philippines because my cousin Janelle is getting married and I'm going to her wedding. And I haven't been to the Philippines, guys, since I was 1. I am I'm turning 31 in January, so it's exactly 30 years later that I'm going to the Philippines. So it's going to be very crazy, very, you know, spiritual, very emotional for that reunion. And I'm just curious to see if that, you know, pans out for you guys as well. If something emotional is going to happen to you in the month of July, that's like very, you know, soul touching. But that's how this card pertains to me, is that I'm going to be going back to the motherland in July for my cousin's wedding, and I'm just so excited about that. And I hope, not to say that you all need to go back to the homeland, you know, if your parents are immigrants, or like maybe go back to a hometown, for example, but just keep in mind that July is going to be a really emotional month, but it's not going to be emotional in the way where you're going to be like crying every 5 seconds. More so emotional in that you're just like really in command of your emotions. Now, my favorite, or one of my favorite cards, I can't say it's my favorite, but one of my favorite cards is coming out for the month of August. So this is so for the month of August, we got the Queen of Pumpkins, and by golly, guys, she is one of the most beautiful cards in the deck. She is maternal, she is nurturing, especially in regards to her finances, because pumpkins represents the pentacles, which represents finances and material wealth and like the good things in life. And it's just basically saying that you're going to be looking stunning in the month of August. Like, we are ending the summer bronzed, hair lightened by the sun, looking amazing and nurturing our finances really, really well. I love this image so much. You see her petting the cat. The cat looks so happy. Maybe like your animals are going to be involved in August and they're going to be cuddling and snuggling up with you. Let me know in the comments section if you guys happen to have a cat as well, especially a black cat. Or if you're more dog people. I love cats, but I grew up with a dog, my dog Rocky, who's a Maltipoo. Well, actually, he's a teddy bear, but, so that's like Maltese, Poodle, Bichon Frise, and Shih Tzu. They call it the teddy bear mix. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm so curious if you guys, like, what kind of animals do you guys have? It could also just be outside of cats and dogs too. You could have like reptiles as well, or fish. But yeah, this card is basically just wanting to let you know that you are stunning and beautiful, both on the inside as well as the outside. So this is a kudos to you, Cappy, that you are beautiful. You are beautiful. So I love that. It's such a beautiful energy for the month of August. Now for September, Virgo season, we got some Scorpio energy. We got the Death card. So not only are things changing repeatedly throughout the year, so like I said before, you guys got the Tower for February, or we got the Tower for February, and then we got the Eight of Ghosts in April. So it's like something's coming down, something's going down in February. We're walking away from something in the month of April, and now in the month of September, Virgo season, something is also coming to an end, not as dramatically as February, but something is definitely coming to an end in order for something new to spring up in the fall. So that's beautiful to see. You know, don't ever make the mistake of seeing the Death. I don't want you guys to ever make the mistake of thinking the Death card means death is imminent. Please don't think that. If anything, the Death card in tarot is a good sign that something beautiful, just like how you saw in August, something beautiful is about to start. It's just that it's like a chapter ending and a new chapter beginning. You know what I mean? A door closing, but then another door opening. That's really what September's gonna be about. So that's really nice to see, is that there's multiple points throughout the year where things are going to be changing for us. And, you know, the Death card is also part of the major arcana, so that's going to be a major life event along with what happens in February. Eight of Ghosts is more so minor arcana, so it's not going to be as dramatic or as crazy or as life-changing as, you know, February and September. So just keep those 2 months in mind when it comes to things changing or coming to a head in 2026. Now, for October, we got the Seven of Ghosts in the reverse, which is interesting. You know, I was kind of thinking that this, like, you know what I mean, that we would get the Death card in October, because October, like, end of October is Scorpio season going into November, but we got Seven of Ghosts in the reverse. So basically what this means is that we're going to have some trouble with being inundated with too many ideas. As you can see here, there is, apparently according to the book, an astronaut. And the astronaut is looking at all these different ghosts, and you see all these ghosts, or like at least the 4 in the background, have these symbols on their chest that represent different ideas. And what this card really means, especially in the reverse, is that we're going to be exposed to many different ideas and maybe even many different people. Sometimes when I see this card, it can mean like having almost too many options. So lots of options in the month of October. Could be in regards to dating. Maybe it's gonna be head to head between the athletic person and the financially stable person, and then other people thrown in the mix. It can mean that as well. Maybe the Tinder game is just a little too strong in the month of October. Or it could also just be ideas too. But the thing that we have to be careful about, especially because this came out in the reverse, is fantasizing a little too much, like having one foot too much in fantasy versus having the other foot in reality. So it's just saying to be careful, to stay realistic in the month of October, even though you'll be inundated with either plenty ideas or plenty people. Now, for the month of November, we got the 3 of Pumpkins, which is great because it is my collaboration card. Although you don't really see it as much in this card as you do with the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, where you see 3 people in the picture. It talks about, more so in this card, it really focuses on apprenticeship, starting something new. Like, you're kind of lower on the totem pole of things when it comes to that particular craft, but you're starting off, like you're an apprentice, you're starting off. So it could be like a new career, for example. Maybe you're doing a career change in the month of November, or you're picking up a new hobby and you're just in the beginning stages, like you're in the fledgling stages of that particular hobby. So it could mean either apprenticeship or collaboration, that you're going to be working with other people on projects. You know, I'm like trying to think how this relates to me, but I haven't thought that far in advance to the month of November. Literally, November was last month, and now we're talking about next November. So I have no clue how this pertains to me in particular. If I were to guess, I would say maybe I would be collaborating with other creators, both here on TikTok as well as YouTube. Could mean that. If I were to try and, you know, resonate with this card, I would see that happening for me. But it could also look so differently for you as well. So yeah, just know that November is all about collaboration and apprenticeship in one's craft. Now, for the final month, which is a year from now, December 2026. I love this song. I just need to hear that part, the drop. We got the Judgment card. So, the Judgment card is a giant ass wake-up call. it wakes us up. There's something that's going to happen in 1 year's time from now that's going to wake us the fuck up. And we're going to be like, okay, now I know what it is that I need to do for myself. Whether it be a job, a career, love life, personal relationships, interpersonal relationships, even parasocial relationships if you happen to have them. Just something is going to happen in December that's going to wake us up and be like, hey, you see me? You see me? The universe is trying to tell you something. It's trying to wake you up to something. So overall, we've got a really good... So yeah, guys, just know judgment is all about wake-up calls. Now, moving on to the oracle portion, we've got Oracle of the Witch, Reclaim Your Birthright as our first oracle card. Next, we got Witching Hour Oracle, my favorite all-time favorite oracle deck by Lorianne Anderson. And then we end it with Seasons of the Witch, Samhain Oracle. This is also by Lorianne Anderson as well, come to think of it. So these two are both by the same person. It's just the illustrations are different. So let us start off with Oracle of the Witch. Now, what's so cool, guys, is I swear to you, I didn't even mean to do this, but the oracle cards we got are in chronological order. What are the odds of that happening? Like, there are at least 40 cards in each deck, and then to get them in chronological order like that, like, the odds are very much against it, and yet somehow it happens. So that's how I know it was meant to be. So for our first card, we got the number 7, spellcasting, and the keyword here is manifestation. So it says here, become one with your personal power, magic, and intent. And I'm just going to go straight to the meat and potatoes of this oracle card. It says here, your manifestation skills are strong at this time, so keep your focus sharp with positive intentions as you visualize your dreams or take magical action to effortlessly bring about true results. However, the shadow side unveiled, that was the light side unveiled, but the shadow side unveiled, if you were to interpret this card in the reverse, says, be careful what you wish for, as problems, doubts, insecurities, and negativity can easily manifest into form. Be clear about what it is you want, and remember that whatever you direct out will come back on you threefold. So that is number 7, manifestation. And for your next card from the Witching Hour Oracle, we got the number 8, the forests, seeing the bigger picture. Sorry if I'm shaking a little bit. It's the caffeine. I am caffeinated. And the keywords here are, like I said, seeing the bigger picture, holding the vision, working towards a goal, and the tarot companions are the 3 of Wands and the King of Wands. Now it says here, there is a saying, you can't see the forest for the trees. It means don't get so caught up in the details that you miss the bigger picture. Every day is full of little things that move the needle more or less towards a good day. Some days will be more dramatic, like the Tower card, chaotic, like the Tower card, and full of what feels like 1,000 tiny spiritual cuts. And in those moments, you may feel an overwhelming need to give up, change direction, or go back to what feels safe and comfortable. Another meaning is that you are too focused on minor details, like choosing a name for a business when you could be planning major things such as what you'll sell, setting up your website, or clever marketing ideas. You may stress about a small blemish in your new home instead of rejoicing in the home itself. There's so much more to do, and see if you zoom out to see the bigger picture. So it says, don't give up just yet. You'll get past your challenges and soon they'll be a distant memory. If you are stuck or have yet to work out the solution to a problem, shift your focus to something else. Keep yourself busy with things that are fun, easy to do, or feel more like play. And when you need to restore your hope, revisit your goals and remind yourself why your challenges will be worth it in the end. And by gosh, by golly, guys, we got 4 companion cards, as you can see here, so let's get through them real quick. First up is Witch's Brew. Get out of your comfort zone. What you are doing now isn't working, and you need to seek out new methods. Alternatively, it may be time to revisit some of your goals. Do they need to change or evolve? Book of Spells. You are not ready for life goals just yet and require more skills, information, or resources. Focus on medium-sized goals instead. If you feel called, draw another card asking how will I know when I'm ready to go after my big goals. I feel like that has to deal with the Seven of Ghosts in the reverse that we got for October. Yeah. And the next one is enter at your own risk. Confusion about your goals. Perhaps you are not clear about what your goals are or your goals are out of alignment. Pause for clarity before making any further decisions. Again, I feel like that has to deal with October. And the last one is High Priestess. You're ready to proceed with bigger goals, become the leader in your life, and take things one step at a time. It doesn't matter if you're inexperienced. You will be guided to do what is needed to succeed. That I feel like has to deal with November, the Three of Pumpkins, for sure. So that was the Witching Hour Oracle, and to end it all, we've got Seasons of the Witch, Samhain Oracle. I know you want to say Samhain, but it's Samhain. So this is number 9, Candle Magic, and it says here, speak your breath into its velvet, recite along its spine all that you desire, all that which will unravel. This is more so poetic instead of like kind of straight to the point like the other ones, so I'm just going to find what is most meaningful here. It says here, when you're holding candle magic, know that your intentions and prayers have been received by the powers that be. They know you are in need of support and are working hard behind the scenes to bring your prayers to life. You do not need to worry, as your intentions will manifest when the time is right. That harkens back to the manifestation card that we started off with, spellcasting. So reversed, if we were to get this card in the reverse, it says, when candle magic is in reverse, you are being guided to call in good spirits to help with your goal. Have you ever tried invoking a deity or angel into your spells? If not, perhaps now is the time to give it a go. If you have, maybe there is a new deity that is waiting and willing to help you. Don't be shy about asking others for help. Sometimes we need a little helping hand when things become overwhelming or we aren't sure of how to proceed. So, and then it goes on to tell you what each candle color represents, which is really cool. So yeah, that's that. And with that all being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know in the comments down below if any of these messages resonate with your future plans for 2026. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful new year. Stay spooky as always, and cheers.